Having your laptop or desktop PC not boot when you need it to can range from embarrassing to downright panic-inducing. But imagine how awful it would be just to lose some data due to a simple mistake. Luckily, in this video, I'll be teaching you just how to fix that. First, make sure that the boot device is properly connected to your computer. If this is a laptop and you're comfortable taking the bottom lid off, then do so and check to make sure that your SSD is plugged in. If this is a desktop, check the cables and connectors to ensure that they are firmly plugged in and not loose or damaged. Next, access the BIOS or UEFI settings of your computer by pressing the appropriate keys, usually F2, F10, or delete during startup. Once you are in the BIOS or UEFI settings, navigate to the Boot tab or Boot menu. Check if the boot device that is not being recognized is now listed in the boot order or in the boot priority list. If it is not listed, add it to the list by selecting it and moving it to the top of the list. In my case, I already have my boot device, the Windows Boot Manager, selected and enabled. The next step, if the boot device is already listed in the boot order, but it is not enabled, make sure that it is enabled and not disabled. What do I mean by that? Well, if you go into the BIOS settings and you're on the boot tab, and under boot option number 1, or whatever it lists, it shows USB hard disk, or boot to PCIe drive, something like that. Go down the list and make sure you select your boot device. It could be the hard drive, it could be the SSD, or in some BIOSes or UEFIs, it will actually just show the name, like what it is doing here on my computer. Next, save the changes made to the BIOS or UEFI settings and exit the menu. You go to Save and Exit, and then Save Changes and Exit. You press Yes, and then you will reboot back to your operating system. If for whatever reason your computer does not go back to your operating system, then you might have to try again. Go back in your BIOS settings, try to redo what you did, and maybe by some luck or miracle it will work now. But let's say that doesn't happen. Try going back into the BIOS and resetting your default values. Go down to Save and Exit, go to Restore Defaults, or Restore User Defaults, and that should fix your problem. But let's say after doing all of this, your computer still isn't, booting up to the operating system, well then it might just be a hardware issue. And you should consider seeking professional assistance from a third-party repair shop or the manufacturer themselves. Manufacturers like HP, Lenovo, Microsoft, or Apple, they all have, in-store repair, or you just ship it back to them and they'll fix it for you. So, if you like this video, consider subscribing for more, and we'll see you next time.